Let's spill that tea. Humble tea it is. Hello, everybody. I have got some tea for you. By the way, I got a new mic, so hopefully, no random buzzing in the background, which luckily I heard it, but it wasn't too bad. I hope not. But that should be taken care of now, because I have a new mic, so yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping to get it going on this, yeah. So, there's a very important humble tea I want to talk about. And you know what that is. I think I've kind of mentioned it in some humble teas or something like that before, briefly, but I need to get into this. And that is books versus their movie adaptations. You know what I mean. Okay. So, more specifically, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Okay, so, me growing up, I've always been a slower reader, it has to be very quiet, but also, then it's very quiet, and I'm reading, and my mind wanders, and then I get distracted. So, and I'm a slow reader, and, going back, and all this stuff. And then, also, when things are very hyped, I'm kind of late on the trend, books, big books or whatever, intimidate me, because I'm a slow reader. 2, shows, for instance, like the Jonas Brothers. I thought they were cool, but, I wasn't all crazy about them. I seen them before they were, big and famous at the Radio Disney concert. And then, of course, I Camp Rock and stuff, but I started watching the show, right as it was getting canceled, or right before, I don't know. And I was like, oh man, I'm really liking this. And, so it's I always like the end of the hype or whatever. And then okay, so Harry Potter, those are a lot of books. I couldn't really, they don't really interest me. I've only seen the first 2 movies, but I couldn't even really get into the book. It's just not my thing, and they were just really long. But I know people who've read them in a couple days, a day, something like that. They could just binge. They're super readers. And then Twilight. I was late to that. I had a friend who I think read it in a day, or I said, or a couple of days or something, just a speed reader. And I didn't really get to it. And then the movies came out, and I was and it was that time, so kind of got I was into it. At that time, that I guess that was one of the hype things that I got into, at the time. There's a few things, I'm not gonna say never. Of course, there's a lot, High School Musical. Still love that too. I don't really care for Twilight now, but sparkly vampires. That's all I'm gonna say. But at the time, yeah, at the time, I was, crazy about it, really enjoyed it, blah, 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 but, I could never finish the book. I got, a couple chapters in, and I would always get distracted. I always was thinking, music videos to make, whatever, stories to write or something, and I always got distracted. So, and then Hunger Games was the next, series to come out. And, of course, I seen the movies first. But, I knew, because my brother had read the books. And he talked about, the pin, that, she gets. But she actually, it was, given to her from a friend. She didn't buy it. And, it was just, those little details that, irritated him. So it's he liked the movie alright, but it was just, it irritated him, the little changes they made. And, I was like, okay, I love the movie, because I hadn't read the book, so, it didn't. See, I think, okay, I'm going to just put this out here real quick. I think that's the biggest thing is, if you read the book first, 99.9% of the time, you're going to enjoy the book more than the movie. If you see the movie first, aka don't read the book or go back, you might enjoy the movie first because you'll enjoy probably whichever one you see first. Possibly. Maybe not if you see the movie first, then you go back and you read, then you're, because, well, at least for me. So, okay, so I seen the movie first. I still love Hunger Games. Like, I think it was a very well done movie and stuff like that. But I've gone back and I'm like on Catching Fire now. But, and of course, you can't, the movies would be like 5 hours long or something. Of course they can't add everything into the book, and plus, it's usually like, it's from Katniss's point of view, so it's like her thoughts and stuff. So, of course, not everything, but the little details that they decide to change, like, so I went back, I'd seen the movies, I was all about it, I was like, yeah, the movies, and then I go back and I'm reading the books, and there's just, the little things, like the Mockingjay, like, I think her, like, because, it makes it, like, she really has no friends, but, kind of Peeta and, her boyfriend. I cannot think of his name right now. But, and of course, her sister Primrose. But, that's not to get, like, I mean, of course, not popular, but, like, I don't know, I think there's more of a significance with her getting the Mockingjay from, like, I'm pretty sure it's the mayor's daughter, instead of, like, her buying it. Like, I don't know, there's just this more, like, why it's, like, important to her, and then her, like, buying it, getting it from the merchant, or trading it, whatever, like they do in the movie. It's just those little details. It's, like, I know I guess technically it doesn't change anything, but then it kind of does. I don't know, it's those little things. It's like I said, it's the character that I think the Mockingjays just seems like it would mean more, because, like, then, like, oh, she thought that was cool, and then it becomes a thing, and, like, it was like this symbol. I don't know, I read that, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what my brother means now, like, he told me that, and, like, I was like, oh, well, that's interesting that they would change that, but, but then, like, it's like, you hear it, and you're like, oh, okay, but then, like, when you read it, and you feel it, so, and then there's just little things that, like, they change, like I said, her in a relationship with, like, oh, I cannot think about it, but I cannot think of his name. I remember Peeta, but anyways, you know, but it's like, I still love it, and I can still appreciate it as, like, a film person, and someone who loves movies, and, like, the effects, and everything that goes into making the movie. I appreciate it, and I enjoy it, and I can watch it. And see, that's another thing, it's like, separating yourself from the story, and, like, comparing it to the book in the movie, and then just enjoying it for entertainment. It's like, I can still enjoy it, I can be frustrated, and I can be like, why did they do these little details? It doesn't make sense. But, like, also, I can be like, okay, but I like the movie, they've gone on, and it's good, right? So, it's this back and forth for me. I guess you could say it's like, it's this balance, and it's just, it's like, yes, I can separate the book from the movie, but, like, it still doesn't make it any less frustrating, and just, like, why? You just question why. Just why? Just why? Just why? That's all I have to say, just why. It's kind of like, if you see, it's kind of like if you look at, like, animated versus live action. Animated Beauty and the Beast versus live action or something. I personally don't like live action. There's some live action, like, I enjoyed live action Aladdin. Yes, there's some things they changed, and I'm just like, why? Lion King, I don't know why they made that live action. Like, it's still CGI. So, like, it's like, you can't get, like, real animals to talk. So, why? Like, and then they changed things, and it was just, didn't make sense, okay? Live action Dumbo, though, I thought that was very well done. But it's like, there's this whole thing, it's like, okay, do you want them to see from point A to point B, they follow the cartoon exactly, but it's just live action, so it's just, just new people, it's real people and all this stuff, it's not animated, but it follows the storyline. And I think it's just, when we think of live action, like, we want to see that story, if they're going to do it, and not change it, and, just for that nostalgia feel, if they're going to do that, like, just don't, just adapt it for live action if you're going to do it, but, like, also, just make your own story, like, we had the animated, that's what's special, like, there's some shows that are animated, some are live action, but, like, if you're going to, maybe don't change pointless things, I guess, I don't know, I as you can say, I kind of like a dislike, like, I love it, but also, like, I can see it's like, I can see it, I love, the live action aspects, so, like, it's real, and there all these effects, and, like, I can see it as, as entertainment, and I can see it as a film lover, and someone who loves to be behind the camera and make films. I can see it for that love, but also as, like, animated is, like, the original, it's like, I don't know, it's hard when there's something else to compare it to, and, it's like, to separate that, but, like, you're always still going to compare, and it's just rough, man, it's rough. It's always going to happen. I don't know. You let me know about that. But yeah, that I guess you can say that Hunger Games was like my first of like, but I watched the movie and then I read it, and I was just like, okay, seeing it. But for like Christmas or my birthday, my brother had got me this new book that's come out, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. He said it was like new popular book, and it's really cool because like it has like old vintage photos in it, so it's like, it shows photos, and and it tells the story with the photos and all this stuff, and instantly I started reading it. I fell in love. Like, I could not put that book down. I love it. And see, it's kind of like me. It's like let's see, I have Catching Fire that I'm in the middle of. Miss Peregrine's, like, the 5th book. I'm halfway. I started reading it when I, like, got sick, and I was taking my little break last week, and I'm already, like, halfway through the book. Yeah, now I've gotten a little bit faster at reading. It's like they say, you read and you get faster. But yeah, I'm in the middle of Catching Fire. It's been a while. Like, I get in the middle of books, and this one is, like, A Twisted Tale. A Whole New World. I started that one. So, like, I start these books, and then I get distracted and stuff. So it's like, and also it's like, you can kind of get in the middle of books, and it's like, just depends on your mood, it's kind of like movies and stuff like that, right? Anyways, so I read Miss Peregrine, and I finished it, and I had to get the next one, and the next one, I think, yeah, it's like on the fifth book, I think, and then the 6th one's, no, the fourth. There is a 5th coming out, or is out, about to be out, something like that. No, this is the 4th, my bad. This is the 4th, I'm like halfway through but anyways, like, I just, like, I can immediately, like, it'll take me months or something, but then I get into it, and then I'm just zoned out. Like, I don't want to put it down, I can't put it down, like, I am just in the zone. It just sucks you in. So, it was the first one I read, and then, as I'm reading it, and then as I'm like when I'm in the middle of reading, I just got done, the movie adaptation comes out, and who's doing it? Tim Burton. I'm like, okay, so I see the trailer, and I'm like, this looks amazing. Like, you know, like Tim Burton, he does a lot of good films. Like, this looks good. Like, you know, the filming aspect, the, you know, effects and all that stuff. And so, of course, I had to go to the movies to see it because I was in love with this book. So, of course, you know, I want to see the, you know, because when you read, you know, you get the visualizations yourself, you know, you hear from the perspective, the narrator, you know, the person, their perspective and stuff like that, and you have the visions in your head. So then seeing it into a movie, see that, and I guess that's another thing is like, you know, when I watched Hunger Games, you know, I already got the idea of Katniss and, you know, Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss and Peeta, you know, Josh Hutcherson, and blah, 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 right? So, you know, you get the images in your head, so then reading it, you know, I was picturing Katniss and stuff like that. But then when you read the book first, it's like you make your own interpretations of the characters and stuff, and of course, you know, with Miss Peregrine, you know, you see the photos, and so it helps you even more with your visualization, right? So, I cannot speak. But anyways, so, you know, but like also when then you go and see a movie and see it's like, okay, how did they interpret it, and, you know, how, like, correctly, you know, whatever. And, you know, it's like, you know, sometimes, like, I think the writer of Harry Potter, like, she was always on the set in the movies to help, you know, get it correct or something. I think the authors are usually on it. I don't know. But you know, it's like, but anyway, so I go and I see it, and, you know, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, this is so good. I'm, like, really getting into it. And I love it. Like I said, separating it as for entertainment and as a film person, I love it. I love the filming of it. I love the shots. You know, I love the shots. I love the camera work. Like, I love the shots. I love the camera work. I love the effects. I love everything. But I am pissed at Tim Burton, or the writers, or whoever of it, because the details of changing the main girl, Emma, well, the main person is, Jacob. The main guy is Jacob, but, like, his love interest, but it's also Grandpa's love interest. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It goes back. So, like, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It's these kids, these peculiar children. They're in, like, there's, like, different children stuff, like, they're in loops, or peculiar people in loops, and they repeat the same day over and over, to keep them safe from aging and stuff like that, and they have, like, super peculiar powers and stuff like that, and so they repeat the same day over and over, and they don't age. Because, like, the Guardians, Miss Peregrine, and, like, the Umbres, they help protect and, like, change, you know, make sure that the loops are, you know, the loops keep looping and they stay in that time. And there's, like, different times, of different groups. And so, I won't say too much, I don't want to spoil it. But, so they have these superpowers, and so Emma, she has fire as her peculiar, she can make fire out of her hands. And then there's another girl who floats, so she has to wear, like, these weighted boots to keep her down, so she doesn't float into the air and just keep floating like she would. So, like, she either has to, like, be tied down or she has to wear her boots. And she's supposed to be, like, a little bit younger. But they switched Emma and her powers. So Emma is the one that floats. And, like, it's really cool, the shots and, like, underwater and stuff like that. But, like, and they only did the first one. But, like, the books, oh my god, this could have been the next, like, Hunger Games, like, trilogy series or something like that. But like Emma would need to have fire because there's so many things that it just works. And it just, that is like the most thing that irritates me. And it's just, like I said, it's kind of like with the Mockingjay. It's just those little details that why did whoever chose it, whether it's Tim Burton, the writer, whoever, why did they choose to make Emma the one that floats and not the fire like she's supposed to? And it drives me insane. It drives, like, the little details. And it's just, because, like, especially now, and, like, especially, like, now and, like, the other ones, because they, instead of just this one loop, like, in the other books, like, in the second one, they had to, like, go into other loops and, to save Umbre, something like that, the Guardians of the loops, and, you know, and, like, Jacob has to fight these, like, monster. He's, like, the only one that can see them. And it's just, there's so much I could have done with this. But then again, I could have just been here ranting about every single one because they change it. Because that's how movies are. And stuff. And I love movies. Like, I've been wanting to be a director since I was, like, in 5th grade, right? So, I've always just wanted to do something in film and making up stories and stuff like that. So, I love the film industry and stuff like that. But also, book to movie adaptations, it's rough, man. Like, I just, the little details, the changing of the powers, fire to floaty, I don't understand. And I'm frankly kind of mad at Tim Burton, or the writer, or whoever chose it. Just, why? Just, why? I don't know. I could just talk about this forever. I love that, like, I have never loved a book as much as I loved this. Well, okay. Growing up, like, I guess you could say, in my teenage and up self, I have never loved a book so much. When I was little, I loved Beverly Cleary's books. And so, this is one, which I believe Beverly Cleary was on set. But when they did the Beverly Cleary, the Ramona and Beezus movie. I love that movie, okay? I think if you're going to take a book to movie adaptation, that is probably one of the best. Joey King, I don't think they could have got any other person more perfect for Ramona. Like, she captured Ramona's personality, look, everything. And I think Selena Gomez did wonderful as Beezus, and just their dynamic as Ramona and Beezus was just perfect. And, like, the ones that played the parents and the little baby, and Henry, and Ramona's friend, it was just perfect. And, like, even, like, Jennifer Goodwin as the aunt, that was just perfect. And see, they didn't just go off of, like, the Ramona and Beezus book, the one book series. Like, they, like, you know, incorporated, like, it was kind of like all the books in one. So, like, they had, like, Ramona and her father, and, you know, like, they did little pieces of each one, which of course now I think, Joey King's, like, 21, 22 now, but, like, when it came out, I was like, oh, I wish they would do more. Like, they would do, like, a number 2 or something. And, you know, because there's more stories of Ramona that they could do. But I'm fine with just that one. Like, I love it. It's just so cute. And, like I said, and Joey King has grown up and done so much more, since it, but I think that she really embodied Ramona, and I think if you're going to do a book to movie rating, I think that would be definitely the top of, like, what I think really, they nailed it. I think they really nailed it. It's me. And so, it's be like, and then another one when I was a kid was, like, Magic Treehouse and Box Culture. Okay. Netflix, I think, did it. It was, like, a Netflix, like, cartoon series. That one was pretty cute, of the Boxcar Children. But, like, also, I don't remember, but I don't think that Grandpa was, like, no, because Grandpa, like, let him have the boxcar in his backyard, so, like, him being, like, an angry rich grouch or something, like, it didn't really make sense, but, I don't know, the series was still cute, though, or the movie, but, yeah, that still didn't make a lot of sense to me, but, yeah, I don't know, it's still my childhood, so I still had to watch it, but, yeah, I think Ramona and Beezus was, like, the best. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's like, here it wasn't focused on one book, but the series of the books. So maybe that helps. They took the best parts of each book, or the best few parts, and kind of tied it in together to make a movie. And even like Henry, because like there's Beverly Cleary has a series with, like, Henry and stuff like that, so it has, like, Henry and his dog and stuff like that, and so, like, they kind of, like, I guess you referenced it from, like, when Beezus and him were younger and stuff like that, those, like, when they talked and stuff like that, so, I don't know, I love that movie. I really want to watch it now, but, yeah, that's probably... So, I don't know, but, yeah, like I said, I think, rip Beverly Cleary. Have I been saying Beverly Mitchell this all the time? I hope not. I hope I said Beverly Cleary. Oh my god, I'm such a flop if I did. But, Beverly Cleary. Oh, and now it's starting to rain. But yeah, I love Beverly Cleary. I grew up with those books. But yeah, so Miss Peregrine. I'm gonna, recommend if you into one like photography and stuff like that, and like with books and stuff like that, and just like magical type stuff a little bit, or just quirky. I don't know, like stuff like I don't even know how to describe it. Just fighting there you go. Fighting monsters and like kids with abilities and stuff like that. I highly recommend Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I will even say I recommend you seeing the movie, but I 100% would agree for you to read the book first, or at least do both. You just get really sucked in. But yeah, yeah, I can talk about this book forever, but I won't ramble too much. But yeah, I think that's all the tea. But yeah, so I will talk to you all and spill more tea next time. Yeah. Let me know if you have any other suggestions, any other like movie, book topics you'd like me to talk about. And yeah, until next time. Bye, guys.